Hey there, comic book fans. I am back from the comic shop again this week, and I'm almost better. That almost at 100%. That just whatever I had, this bug that I've had for tomorrow will be 2 weeks, is almost gone. A little tiny congestion left, but much better than I was last Thursday. Mostly reprints this week with my 7 new comics, but we'll start with comic shop news. There we go. What news do we have in the comics? Something for everyone. This is the, what is it? Comic shop news free comic book day special. So I guess this is all the stuff that's coming out on free comic book day. The Immortal Hulk #1. Oh, Jack Kirby Fourth World Omnibus. I bet that's not free. Scooby-Doo Team Up, Hush, Epic Collection, Amazing Spider-Man, Saga, Mouse. Maybe these are things you can buy on Free Comic Book Day, because this looks like evergreen stuff. Yeah, Marvels, blankets, Mouse, ElfQuest, Dark Knight Returns. Oh, top 10 superhero graphic novels. So I guess this is all stuff you can get at your comic shop. Top 10 manga. Alright, that's what this is. This is some Fred Hembeck drawings and some stuff to say, look for at your comic book day. Free comic book day. Blah. I almost knew what I was saying. And the first 2 I got a couple more copies of the Hulk 181 Facsimile Edition, because I'm going to... I made, over the last few years ago, I made I had the True Believers edition that I rewrapped with a new cover that I had a friend commission a redo of this cover from Herb Trimpe, just reimagining of it. I put a video up on it like 3-4 years ago. Just look up Hulk 181 on my list, new Herb Trimpe edition. And eventually, I colored it myself and printed it out and made my own alternate cover stuff that I was selling for like $25 on eBay. And I think I made an edition of 20 of it. And over the last 2 or 3 years, sold all of them. So I was like, you know what? Why don't I make a new edition with these? So maybe I'll eventually get 10 of these and make a new edition of that. So I got 2 so far. We'll see. Maybe the edition won't even be 10. And then I got True Believers stuff. Avengers Endgame. This looks like a 60s Avengers one. Let's see. We can flip it open to the back page and see which issue it came from. Avengers issue 71. Final battle. Final battle against Black Panther and Submariner and the Human Torch? Okay. Oh, it's a Sal Buscema cover. So you do the insides too? Let's see. Where's our... Doesn't give you credit box in the first... Yeah, this looks like Sal Buscema. But I know I'll enjoy this one. I don't think I've ever read this issue before, but I enjoy these dollar reprints a lot. And since this is Avengers month, we got another Avengers. I think this is an 1980s Avengers. What do we got here? Avengers issue number 343. I've never read this one. I know that. I was out of reading the Avengers by then. 1991. Okay, so this is a 1990s Avenger. Looks like some Tom Palmer and John Buscema this time. Yeah, Bob Harris. Oh, Steve Epting and Tom Palmer. So this is some 1990s Avengers, the Gatherer Saga. I don't even know what that is. But I look forward to reading it. And what's the last one? True Believers one, Avengers, Thanos, the Final Battle. I think this is an Infinity War one, right? Infinity Gauntlet one. Yeah, it's Infinity Gauntlet number 6. I read Infinity Gauntlet number 3 last week. That's what I got. So now I have issue 1, 3, and 6 of the Infinity Gauntlet in True Believers editions. Now they just have to come with the last 2 issues. I've never read Infinity Gauntlet before. So, matter of fact, I don't even think I read the first issue, which I got last year. But I read issue 3, and I enjoyed it. That was also interesting, too. I read last week, it was Warlock and the Infinity Watch, the True Believers, like number 9 or something. And I like 70s Marvel, Bronze Age Marvel cosmic stuff. I'm not a huge fan of 80s and early 90s Marvel cosmic stuff, but I still did like it. It's still well done. It's just that treating all these to me, like the cosmic guys, like Galactus is supposed to be so far above humanity that you can't even deal with him. But instead, over the years, he's just become another superhero with another power level. And if you get the right magical amulet, you can beat him. And all those guys, like I think in that Infinity Watch one, Eternity was in it. And Eternity's supposed to be this concept, this, he's not supposed to be a human being. He's not supposed to be something you can relate to. He's supposed to be this concept of a personification of the whole universe. But in, Infinity Watch, he's just another guy who Thanos or whoever it was captured, and you have to free him. And so it's kind of like all these cosmic beings just became people instead of weird cosmic concepts. So, but it was actually pretty well done. I enjoyed reading it. I think that one was Jim Starlin written too. So I'm sure, like, here's this one with, lots of cosmic beings. Well, these are... Galactus is the only cosmic being, I think. There. Oh, no, the original Celestials in the original Eternal story were supposed to be so far above humanity that we couldn't even deal with them. It was like they were coming back to judge the Earth, and there was nothing you could do about it. But then eventually, once they got integrated into the Marvel Universe, they just became another powerful creature who, if you get this special sword, you can kill. And of course, that's what Marvel heroes do. They find the special sword and win the battle. So it's kind of like, I didn't like him as much after that. But I'll enjoy reading that one, so what the heck. Let's see the 2 new books I got. Man, so many more reprints this week than new books. East of West, number 42. This story continues. Who's Hickman, Dragotta, and Martin. Jonathan Hickman, Nick Dragotta, and Frank Martin with Russ Wootan on the letters. And this has been an excellent series. And it's wrapping up soon, I think, because the shooting war has been going on. Well, this looks like an issue with the monsters in it. There's like the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse are real and coming back and want to end the world. And there's giant war going on. Nice butt shot. That's going to end the world. So East of West has been going... What year did this? This was like a 2012, 2013 book. So it's been going on for a while. And I've enjoyed it since the beginning. And it was one of those... There was a lot of world building at the beginning, so you knew it was going to take a while to really get going. And since it's really gotten going, I've enjoyed it even more. So, good book, East of West. Check it out. And the last book I got for this week was Little Bird, issue number 2. This is only a 5-issue series, and I don't have it on my pull list yet. This issue is going to decide whether I get it or not. The other 3 issues, because I liked the first issue, but I had problems with it, with the writing mostly. I really enjoyed the artwork. Some very nice artwork. But it was one of those stories that, to me, the strength... As you can see, this is a fantasy story. And to me, the strength of sci-fi and fantasy stories, as you can do kind of allegories for modern political stuff or whatever. But there was actually some modern political elements of this in that the bad guys in this book are the United States and the good guys are Canada. And it's such a fantasy story that couldn't have used stand-ins for the United States and Canada if that's what you wanted to do. And there was even some iconography. You'd occasionally see like a version of the Canadian flag and a version of the American flag, and it was just kind of like, why? So that kind of took me out of the story a little bit. And the story itself was just kind of straightforward. Oh, evil United States is conquering the world, and the United States is a religious oligarchy. I don't know. And like I said, if they had made them two complete fantasy states, I would have liked it better because the little injection of reality made no sense to me. But I really like the artwork. And if I like this issue too, I'll put the next 3 on my pull list. But we'll have to see. Like, I really liked the artwork. It was the story that just let me down a little bit. All right. Let's see. I managed to get a little bit of artwork done this week, being that I'm feeling a little bit better. Worked on this Dreams of Things. This one's going to... Look, you'll be able to tell what's going on in color better. We have some sort of robot. Matter of fact, this reminds me a little bit of a Jack Kirby Eternal with some Aztec art thrown in here. But it really needs color to separate this strange foreground thing from the city in the background and the buttes and the sky. So, but I like the way that came out. But sometimes, like, all of these Dreams of Things get hand colored like these ones here. So I know I'm going to be using color in it. So I know, it'll be more clear once it's colored. So, pardon me, still got a little bit of a cough. Then today I did a couple of these little, which ones are they? This one. Did a couple more little fantasy landscapes. And man, these take a lot longer than I always think they do. I don't know why. We did that one. I like that one came out. Only with a couple of them have I done some black in the sky. And those skies turn out looking the craziest. So we did that one. And we did this one. This one's got an all watercolor sky. These are ink and watercolor. Strange moon-like thing in the front. I'm not even sure if that's a moon or what, because I made it so large. It's like, is that in the foreground or the background? So, but it's a fantasy sci-fi landscape, so they don't know. Or maybe it's a thumb over someone taking a photograph. Oh yeah, there's an old. It's all melted. That was a printout of. Sometimes when I make these, bigger ones. I mess up and chop up the paper into little ones, and that's what happened with these. And this one's got another chopped up into. You can see the back has some pencils on it from one of these, but the pencils were only a printout. I usually draw pencils this big and then blow them up and redraw over them on this. So my pencils and inks are usually separate, but occasionally I mess up. Like right there, and we get stuff on the back. Okay. Oops, just to put a dent in the side of that one. Oh well. You guys all have a good week out there.